All right, good afternoon. It's September 26th, Friday, and I want to go over this trade that I had this morning. Please forgive the noise in the background. I am near a busy highway today, so just jumping right into this. I have the schematic pulled up here for the trade that I took this morning. It was a buy trade on Nasdaq futures, all right, and the entry came in within the 10:45 a.m. candle. So I'm going to show you that breakdown here, but just to refresh your memory, in terms of a buy setup for me regarding the London range, I'm looking for a liquidity grab at 9:30 or just after 9:30 below London session low, and then a shifted market structure that'll get me into a long position. All right, so let's take a look at that and see what that looked like this morning. So right now I have both S&P on the left and Nasdaq on the right. I'm here on the 15-minute, and I've got the chart pulled up all the way to 9:30's open. So I'm going to show you where originally I wanted to take a sell, but I ended up taking a buy. So like I said, we had news at 8:30 this morning, some PCE price index. I don't really pay attention to that too much. It's, in my opinion, it's a pretty weak news in terms of overall movement. But today we got a nice move up from that release. But as you can see at the highs here, we had some divergence between the S&P and Nasdaq. So the high of 9:30 on the 15-minute chart was higher than its previous swing high. Whereas over here on Nasdaq, you can see that same high at 9:30 is actually lower than the previous swing high here. So I took this as some divergence and tried to short from S&P, but I'm going to show you what happened here on the lower time frame and show you that I actually had no entry to get in terms of my entry criteria. So if I drop down here to the 5-minute, all right, you can see here, if I just hit play right here, I did get my bearish engulfing. All right, so normally I'm always looking for a engulfing pattern before I take an entry. But if I drop down to the 1-minute, take a look at the lower time frame candles here. I had a sell limit right in here on S&P, but price never came back. It just kept going lower and lower and lower until the next opportunity came in, which was a buy opportunity. So if I hop back up to the 15-minute, you can see this is what that looks like. And so I had no sell entry at the highs. So instead, I noticed that the Nasdaq actually sweeped London session low, whereas S&P did not, right? We came very close, but it didn't sweep that liquidity. Instead, Nasdaq swept the low and gave me an entry for a long position. So I took that buy position using the S&P as divergence. Okay, so divergence at the other end of the range. All right. So let me show you what that looked like on the 5-minute. Over here on Nasdaq, that's a chart on the right. I am waiting for a bullish engulfing this time, all right? So when I'm looking for a sell, I'm looking for a bearish engulfing, but when I'm looking for a buy, I want to see a bullish engulfing. So let's see when that comes in. That engulfing pattern actually came in after 10:35. I'll mark it out. From there, I actually had a place to buy from on the 5-minute. It was this 5-minute inversion fair value gap right here, but I'll show you what that looks like on the 1-minute. So what I ended up doing is I placed my buy limit right on that level, and I put my stop below the previous swing low. Now, because these were so close, I just went ahead and put it below the low of 1033 right here. And from there, I originally targeted 3R, but as you can see, 3R really had me close to the 10 a.m. high right here. So what I ended up doing was just going ahead and letting price get me out at that 10 a.m. high. All right. So from the 4-hour perspective, at 10 a.m., a new candle opens, and this was the high that candle made before the reversal down. So I went ahead and I targeted that liquidity back to the upside. All right. So this is what my trade looks like. And I'll show you that one more time from the 5-minute. And instead of just hitting play here on replay, I'll show you that recording from this morning.